Happy Friday, Year 2, Miss Dearman here. We're going to be looking at position and direction again today, and it's the 1st of May 2020. So we're in a new month. Okay, so these are our words, our vocabulary that we'll be learning through this unit. So we've got the word clockwise, my turn, your turn, clockwise, anti-clockwise, forwards, backwards, right, left, middle, turn, half turn, quarter turn, three-quarter turn. Fantastic. And this clock helps us to remember which direction clockwise and anti-clockwise are. So if it's going to the right, then it's clockwise, just like the hands of a clock. If it's going towards the left, it's going backwards around the clock, it's anti-clockwise. Okay, yesterday we looked at these words here, forwards, backwards, right and left. We're going to be looking at those a little bit more today. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so we're learning to describe movements just like yesterday. So we're answering some questions about the grid this time. Okay, so we've got some arrows, and these arrows show where the animals are moving on the grid. So we've got some sentences down here, and it's asking us to complete the sentences to describe where they're moving on the grid. So the bee is moving squares. So how many squares in what direction? Let's look at the bee. How many squares is the bee moving? Count with me. 1, 2. That's it. It's 2 squares. And in what direction? So look at where the bee is facing. That's it. Forwards. He's facing the way he's moving. So he's moving forwards. Okay, the tortoise is moving how many squares in what direction? So here's the tortoise. How many squares? Excellent. 2 squares. And is it forwards, backwards, left or right? Look at where he's facing. Fantastic. It's backwards. The tortoise is moving 2 squares backwards. Okay. Another type of question here. Okay, we've got to draw an arrow this time. Well, I'm going to do it and you're going to help me know where to draw the arrow. Okay, draw an arrow to show the ant moving 3 squares to the right. So this is the ant. Okay, he's facing in this direction. Left is here. If I make an L on up to my screen, that's going to show me the L is that way, the right, left, and then the right is this way. Okay, so draw an arrow to show the ant moving 3 squares to the right. So we know that this is the right. If he goes to the left, he's off the screen, off the grid. So we know it's this way, and it's 1, 2, 3. So we think it's this one. Okay, if you think it too, then thumbs up. Let's see. Excellent, it is. Okay. Okay, tricky question here. A reasoning question. Does it matter what way the animals are facing? Does it matter what way the animals are facing? What do you think? Right, let's have a look. If the ant was facing in that direction, and we were asked this question, draw an arrow to show the ant moving 3 squares to the right. We know that that is forwards, that is backwards, that would be his left, and that would be his right. So then it does matter, doesn't it? Because the arrow would be taking him in a different direction. So yes, it matters which direction the animals are facing. Because that would be 3 squares to the right if the ant was facing in that direction. So yes, it does matter. Okay, you're going to have a go at doing some work now in your book. Okay, so you will recognise this picture from yesterday where Cole needed our help to get through the grid to find his toys and his food. So I've changed it so it looks like this. What I'd like you to have a go at is drawing this in your book. There's a waggle next to it to show what that looks like. Okay, so I've drawn some 4 grids, 4 by 4, 4 columns, 4 rows. Okay, if you need to pause this video to draw it, then do so. And then I've drawn the toys and the food in the correct grid. Okay, can you draw your grid to look a little bit like that? Pause the video if you need to. Okay, and then we're going to answer some questions, just like we did a minute ago with Miss Dearman. You're going to have a go on your own with a parent to help. Okay. Right, so we can see an arrow now, and remember it's really important what direction Cole is facing. Okay, complete the sentence. So in your book, write question 1, and then write this sentence out and see if you can answer. See if you can fill in the square and fill in the line. So remember it's a number and in what direction. So Cole is moving how many squares in what direction? Pause the video if you need to. Okay, question 2. Draw a line to show Cole moving 3 squares to the right. Draw a line to show Cole moving 3 squares to the right. So remember, draw your left and your right at the top of the grid if you need that to help, just like we did yesterday. Okay, question 3. Okay, Cole is now moving to a different place on the grid. Okay. So Cole eats his food and then moves 2 squares to the left. Where does he finish? So for this answer, I'd like an object. Where does he land if he starts on the food and moves 2 squares to the left? Where does he finish? What object does he land on? When you've completed those questions, there is a challenge question. Have a go, see if you can answer this question. Okay, I'll read it to you. So think that, or have a look here, and Cole is in a different direction, facing a different direction, and he's on a different part of the grid. Okay. Amir is saying Cole move 3 squares forward. Is Amir correct? Explain why. So is he correct or incorrect? But I'd like you to be able to write a sentence to explain why he might be correct or incorrect. Pause the video if you need to. Okay, well done Year 2. I'm looking forward to seeing maybe your videos, your pictures, or your comments. Good luck.